Hallsands and back up to Bristol.
I'm on the river ferry which plies its trade on the Exmouth estuary. Dorset is behind us. Here we're in South Devon. This is Star Cross on what the brochures call the English Riviera. And on a glorious day like this, it could almost be the Mediterranean.
But as anyone who's spent their summer holiday sitting on a windswept beach will know, it's not always like this. 2,000 miles out in the Atlantic, weather fronts build, brewing up great storms. Westerly winds hurl those storms right at us, gaining strength all the way. The first part of the UK they hit is the southwest. The west-facing extremes of this coastline take the full brunt of the weather. No wonder most of the villages here are built on the more sheltered east coast. But the prevailing westerlies don't always prevail. With little warning, the winds can swing around and arrive from the other direction. At their worst, they don't just buffet the coast, they obliterate it. If we travel from Exmouth to Start Bay, you'll see what I mean. Sandwiched between the sea and a freshwater lake is the east-facing village of Tor Cross. Although it's been here 1,000 years, it's under a growing threat. The coastal road to Tor Cross runs alongside Slapton Sands, a beach which acts as a natural barrier, protecting the road, village and the lake from invasion by the sea. Every year when the weather gets rough, the waves try to crash through this ridge and the council have to rush in and conduct emergency repairs, both to the road and to the ridge. And without those repairs, they say that the road and the lake are going to be gone in 50 years. Sea levels in the southwest have risen by 15 centimetres over the last 90 years. Combine that with the natural erosion of shingle and dredging, and you have a recipe for disaster. What's worrying the villagers of Tor Cross is that one day they might lose not just the road, but the village as well. And this is not just about what could happen. It already has happened to our neighbours just up the coast. This used to be the thriving fishing community of Hallsands. Once there were homes, shops and a pub. All now gone. The villagers were used to battling with the elements, but nobody could have predicted what happened one night in 1917, when the whole village fell victim to the forces of nature. Anthropologist Alice Roberts has travelled here to learn the full story of what happened on that terrible night.
I'm with local historian Steve Mellier, who's been unearthing the true story of Hallsands.
This is the main street, and difficult to imagine now, but there were buildings on both sides of it.
So how many houses were there originally in Hallsands?
At its height, there were 37 houses with 159 people.
Right, as far as I can see, it's just ruins, isn't it?
Yes. Everybody kind of owed part of their living either directly or indirectly to the sea. The beach had a shingle ridge which was high enough and protected enough for it to be able to leave the boats on the beach all year round. It's entirely disappeared now. Where we are standing here, these were the foundations of the London Inn, the only pub in the village.
So presumably there wasn't just a sheer drop down here at that point?
No, I mean the sand and shingle came up to the level of this rock platform.
Oceanographer Vince May has studied the role played by the bay's geology in turning bad weather into disaster.
I still don't understand why Hallsands in particular is affected there. I mean, why that village out of all the villages along the coast here?
It was a combination of high tides, strong winds and a lot of shingle removed by dredging.
The village's misfortune was its shingle beach. Left alone, it provided the village with valuable protection against the wind and waves. But shingle was worth a lot of money, particularly when, in 1897, Sir John Jackson's engineering company was given a licence to dredge it up and sell it.
How much dredging was there? I mean,
They
what sort
took
of
out
volume did they take?
600,000 tonnes of shingle from
That sounds
along
like a
here.
huge amount.
It's probably something like 12, 15 times more than the material in this beach at the moment.